All right, what's up, guys? Gonna do a quick audio check here. The stream takes about 15 seconds until I can hear the playback, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Quick audio check here. There we go. Okay, that sounds good. All right. So this is where we left off in the last stream. Let's see here. Let me update a few things. Let's go ahead and put... I figured out the rig. Yeah, we were trying to figure out this rig. For those that weren't in the last live stream...
You got it. Think of it as alarm tree.
You can ignore the background. That's going to be a scrolling background. But yeah, so she just had, you know, Miles here on her shoulder, and he is a separate rig that has his own rig. So this is really cool. This is a rig within a rig. And what we'll be probably doing today, so we'll be streaming for 2 hours, is we'll be covering the first couple of shots, animating them, doing all their poses and everything as they're having a dialogue back and forth. So I think that'd be pretty cool. Hey, Polanco, how's it going? And Loki, how's it going? Well, sweet. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. This is me showing my entire process. I'm going to get a few things started up here. So this is going to be blocking. Let's put animation, stage, blocking. Okay. So I'm going to be showing my entire process. That's for those that are new here. That's what I do. This is me just basically doing my client work and just streaming it as I go. What's up, Robert? And yeah, Scribbly, rigception. That's a good one. A rig within a rig. Now, if we can do, we had a Pierre in the Discord suggest if we could do a rig within a rig within a rig. That would be pretty crazy. We'll see if we can do that. But yeah, so I'm just right now just getting my bearings. This is kind of how it goes. I'm just starting, getting back into this project. So I'm just going to get the bearings as far as where I'm at, and then we'll continue from there. So I have on my timeline about close to 50 seconds of dialogue. So this is Miles talking, and I have him all blocked out as far as his lip sync. So I'll just kind of let this play out.
Think of it as alarm triage.
Let's go ahead and end it at here.
Only the urgent stuff gets center stage.
So instead of 1,000 beeps every minute, we just get the important ones?
Exactly. Connexall prioritizes critical alarms and suppresses the nuisance ones.
So yeah, so his lip sync is pretty much done. And then I created that walk cycle. I'll kind of refine that as I go, but I have their walk cycle right here in the beginning. Let's go ahead and just play this to a start and stop right here. Okay, so they just have that walk cycle going, and it's pretty simple as far as, you know, anything that's happening off camera. That's what you got there. That's what that looks like. So just in case you were curious. So let's just kind of pick up where we left off. I think what I want to start with first is just blocking out Miles, since we have his voiceover, his lip sync all complete. I think that's where I want to get started. So I'm going to go ahead and play this out, and I'm just going to take a look and just make sure that his lip sync's locked in and ready to go before moving on to the next. Let's go ahead and put that audio back on.
You got it. Think of it as alarm.
Okay, let's play that back. Sometimes Moho kind of does that render preview. It'll like speed through the timeline. So I'll just hit play again.
You got it. Think of it as alarm triage. Only the urgent stuff gets center stage.
So I just noticed there was a little jump. I think that was her arm, maybe?
You got it. Think of it as alarm triage.
Yeah, it was her arm. Okay, so I'm going to go... Okay, so I got some keyframes there that I don't need. Oh, I'm just going to revert this back to where it was. I was creating the thumbnail, and so I had moved things around. So let's put things where they
Got
were.
it. Think of it as alarm triage.
There we go. Okay. So now there won't be a weird jump there. All right. I can't see how many people are in the stream. How do I do that? But yeah, for those of you that are watching, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. I'll answer your questions. I love talking Moho, and I've said this before. Those that watch the stream really make it. So any questions that you guys have, that kind of determines the direction of the stream. Cool. All right. So let's see. Let me open up the questions here. Loki, I'm mostly here to watch how people use Moho in their process. I'm mostly new to Moho, so I'm very excited. Okay, sweet. What software? Or it's not software, but what do you animate? Are you coming from another software? Are you just brand new to animation altogether? Let me know. Polanco, I used Moho to achieve the very early Flash look I'm trying to emulate of the early 2000s. I alternate with Macromedia Flash for accuracy. Okay, sweet. Very cool. And then motivation, I don't know what you're saying there. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and start blocking out our character. And what I'll do first is I'm actually going to remove that background because that's actually really hard to see. And I'm going to put on just a darker default background. So I'm going to go to here, preferences. Let's see. That's not going to screen share. Whenever I go into preferences and a separate box pops up that's not docked, the screen can't see it, or the OBS can't see it. So I'm just going to kind of show you what this looks like really quick. So here in background, I'm just going to go ahead and just give it a darker color, just so everything contrasts a little bit better. And then we'll transition back there. Okay, cool. All right. So what I have right now is these two bones are my only keyframes that I've created so far for this character. Those are going to be down here in the red channel. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hide these bones, and I'm going to keep all my other bones visible because that's what I'm going to use for the blocking stage. But what I don't want to do is I don't want to override any of the keys that I just created for my lip sync yesterday. So I'm going to select these two bones here, and I'll just actually go ahead and select these two as well. So with all four of these bones selected, I'm going to come here to my timeline, and I'm going to highlight my selected keys and set them to red. Now, if I see these red keyframes anywhere on my timeline again, this is going to let me know that I accidentally am animating or retiming these keys. So I don't want to do that. So I'm going to first select them, and then I'm going to go to here to Shy Bone. I'm going to go ahead and hide those. And as you can see there, they disappeared from my timeline. So these other keys that are here, I actually don't know what they are because I was just kind of focusing on, oops. Yeah, so right now, this is a timeline within a timeline because we're doing a rig within a rig. So the nurse, she'll have her own set of keyframes for her animation, and then all of Miles is right here. So I'm going to go ahead and just delete all of those keyframes because I don't think they're doing anything. Okay, it looked like the one was holding a pose, maybe. So I'm just going to go ahead and just hit Control F to freeze that key. And actually, you know what? There is one more thing I can show here. Let me make my key touches, key presses. What the heck is the word I'm looking for? My shortcut keys. Let me make sure they're visible. Okay, so they're up here in the corner. Are they showing? Yeah, they're showing. Okay, just making sure they're on the stream there. Okay, so Loki, you're new to animation, hoping to design some game characters and then move to making short animations like skits. Oh, heck yeah. Okay, cool. If you're familiar already with game design, Moho just implemented GLTF export integration. I don't even know what you would call it, but for 3D engines, for game engines, Unity, Blender, Unreal, you now have that option to import your GLTF from Moho. So if that's something that is familiar language to you. Samuel, what's up, man? You made it. Cool. Let me know if you have any questions. Though I've seen your work and I don't know what I could be showing you that's new that you probably don't already know, but I appreciate you coming out, man. Okay, cool. So I'm going to go ahead and just, again, remove these keyframes. I have those keyframes already there. And then I'm going to set everything to steps because this is the blocking stage. And I'm going to set my intervals to 2s just so that's already at its default of 2. Okay, so I'm going to play this out a few times, and this is kind of where I'll just chill out and just kind of focus on or zone in more so on what I'm doing. And then I'll come back to your questions if you guys have any questions or comments. Okay, cool. So I'm going to go ahead and just hit play on this.
Got it. Think of it as alarm triage.
And I'll just kind of move my microphone to the side real quick so you don't hear me breathe.
Only the urgent stuff gets center stage. You got it. Think of it as alarm triage. Only the urgent stuff gets center stage. You got it. Think of it as alarm.
Okay, so he's responding to her question, so I'm actually going to play back her dialogue just so I have its context here. So she says, tell me the Connexall app can stop the constant beep parade, Miles. Okay, so here we go. So here's her dialogue.
Tell me, the Connexall app can stop the constant beep parade, Miles?
You got it. Think of it as alarm
Okay, so I want him to react, so he's going to be acting. And this is the part I'm still learning when it comes to dialogue acting is what actions is a bird character making a human character. This is all, something that I'm continually learning. So let's go ahead and let's give him some poses. And what I like to start with first is just the silhouette. So I like to turn on the silhouette for my characters so I don't have to worry too much about what they're looking like. And I'm just going to figure out what kind of pose do I want to give Miles first. So if he's saying like, you got it, I don't know. See, that's such a simple line, but let's kind of move. I'm actually going to leave his root bone because his root bone right now, let me turn that audio off real quick. His root bone right now is what's moving him. So he's actually bouncing up and down. So I'm not going to touch that bone for now. And I just realized right here, because I keyframed everything, that's going to stop that cycle. So I want to keep that cycle going. So I'm just going to remove the keys for that root bone. So that'll keep that cycle going. And then I'm going to go back to just posing the rest of his body. So if he's saying you got it, maybe he's just, kind of back a little bit. I am using a tool for those that are new here called the MR Pose tool. I highly recommend you check out this tool and the creator behind it. This is Molt Rush on the Molt Rush YouTube channel. What's really cool about this is I can lock parent bones. I can lock their rotation, I can lock the rotation of a child bone and move the parent bone. So right here, this tail, for example, is locked. And as you can see there, I'm moving. So this bone right here is locked and I'm moving the parent and it's keeping that child rotation in place. So you just do that by selecting the bone and with I basically replaced the transform bone tool with this tool here, with this script. You hold down control and you can lock the angle, lock position. There's a ton of things you can do. I won't do a whole tutorial on that, but I'll just kind of show you how I'm using it. So I have it locked here for his different wings. I think this wing right here, I'm just going to hide that as well with the mouth that I had because that's kind of just going to be in the way. Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm just going to kind of just pose his character here as far as you got it. I really don't know what his pose is going to be, but maybe he's just kind of something like that. Okay. And then I have my keyboard shortcut. So my show curves is, I have so many. I think it's Control Shift V. Nope. Control Shift C. There we go. So that's to turn my points on and off. Okay, so I kind of like how that looks. So he had like his default pose, and then he has this one. Okay, and let's go ahead and let's turn off our silhouette. And let's kind of do some facial expressions here. So I have this this bone that controls the emotion. I have the layers off though because they don't display in real time very cleanly, but I'll show you what that looks like here. So I just have this simple, it's a very simple dial. It's actually kind of not recommended as far as how I have this set up, but this just creates two masks that go over his eye. Let's see, is that going to, oh, I gotta switch my screen because it doesn't show you the render. It's showing it as a separate window. Okay, and I got my silhouette on, so let me turn that off really quick. Oh, the mask is not on, so let's turn that mask on for the face, I believe. Group mask. Nuts. Okay. That turned everything on. I did not want that. So the beak. So these I want to be outside the mask. Don't mask this layer. Oops. So anyway, I'm just adding that mask back on because it was disabled before. So I just got to turn off the mask for a few things here. And then the cheek, I believe that's part of the mask. Let's see. Yeah, see, so this is what it'll look like in the render. Is that showing? Yeah. This is what it'll look like in the render. And then this is what it looks like in the actual viewport. So what I'm going to do actually is just for now hide those. Yeah. And now it's going to kind of make that look kind of goofy, but that's what it looks like in the render. So I'll just know that that's going to be the case. So for that emotion, I'm actually going to leave that. Let's do something with his eyebrows instead. So I have this control right here to control his eyelids. So maybe as he's saying, you got it. All right, let's just make sure that that face works with what he's saying. Let me turn my dialogue back on.
You got it. Think of it as you got it.
Okay, I don't think that matches. So again, this is me just showing my entire process. I don't have a storyboard really to show what the facial features are looking like. I don't have a pose sheet. I don't have like really any of this stuff. This is just me kind of creating this all on the fly. This is a very quick, low budget type of production that I'm doing right now. So what I'm going to try to do is just work with what I have so far. So anyway.
You got it. Think of it as...
So these keyframes that I created, I'm going to change this to step.
Got it.
And what I'm going to do before this is I'm going to create kind of just a pose of him further down. And then I'm thinking what I'll do is like, as he's saying, you got it, he's going to kind of flip his head back. Okay, so let's use that. Let's see if we can, because she's talking and then he'll...
Constant beat parade, Miles?
You got it.
Okay, I think that's all right for now. I'm just going to leave that as the pose.
Think of it as alarm triage.
Think of it as alarm triage. Okay, so what I want to do here is I probably want to have him start using his arms to kind of talk. So he's kind of using a little bit more body language. So I'm going to open up my... Is that sharing? It is. Okay, so I'm going to open up my actions panel here. And I'll switch my screen over. Oh, why did that blow up? Animation stage. Let me see if I can undo this. There we go. Just lock those. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Let's see. Why is that? There we go. So yeah, so I'm going to take a look at the actions here. So I have a few different ones. So one I'm looking for is having his wing, just his one wing open. I think I have, okay, that's 2 wings. I thought I had one where I had just the one wing. Okay. I think I might need to, oh, there it is right there. It's the opposite wing that I wanted it to be. You know what? No, it's right there. Okay. So I have that just keyframed incorrectly. So this is a reference. So what I need to make sure I'm doing is not manipulating too much of the individual file and go back to the master rig because I want it to work through all of my project files. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to go to this layer and I'm going to right click it. And again, it's not going to show in the stream. I apologize. But I'm right clicking it and I'm going to locate original layer. And what this is going to do is this is going to bring up my master rig. And then if I go to, let's see here. If I go to, oh, sorry, Miles, and I select wing close. Wait, which one was it? I think it was 2. Nope, that's 2. What I should have labeled this as like left and right, but that works. Okay, so I have a Vitruvian bone here that's being keyed that I actually don't want keyed on this action. So I'm going to come down here to my timeline, and I'm going to remove that Vitruvian bone for that action. So all I want is just this one wing opening and closing. That's going to be my action that I'm going to be working with. I don't want 2 wings, I just want the one. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. And I'm going to go back into my project here. And we'll see if this is going to work, but I'm going to go to right click, update my layer reference, and replace mismatched vectors. Have just everything checked on. I just know that I want to have everything referencing here. And then I'm going to go back to that and just make sure that it moved over. And it didn't. Okay, so I'm looking at it and it doesn't look like it worked. So a tip that I actually got from Danny in her Moho webinar, because I've been trying to figure this out forever with reference layers. If your actions don't update on your reference, what you can do is you can go down to the layer itself. So in this case, it's wing L, and I can delete it. And what that's going to do is it's also going to delete, or it should delete, whatever that was referencing in the action. And then I'm just going to come real quick back to the original character here, hit save. And now Moho's going to say, okay, something's broken here. And so now I'm going to go and I'm going to say update layer reference and then add new missing layers. And what this should do now, when I go back to the rig, is it should now, see, there's one. Oh, it didn't do it. That's okay though. So what I'll do, because I have it at least in my master, so anytime I do update it, and I bring it into other projects, it'll be fixed. I'm just going to delete that keyframe. So bit of a messy explanation there, but that's, hopefully helpful to some of you. Wow, okay. We got a few comments here. We'll take a break here and answer some of your questions if you have any. Cool. Yeah, no, Sam, I've seen your work, man. It looks really good. So with the knowledge that you do have in Moho, you're killing it. Head back for you and forwards for got it. Yeah, that's a good suggestion, Anoka. So yeah, we could basically take that pose, that blocking, and just switch it around and see what works. Is the texture on the parrot beak a vector brush or imported JPEG? Hey, PNG. Good question, Robert. This is a brush in Moho. So this is all vector, this character here. So this is using, if I select this, man, I wish OBS would work with me because I really need you guys to be able to see all my screens. But if I open up my, let's see, why is it not working? If I open up my styles panel here and I select that brush, it is this brush right here. Where'd it go? right here in the middle, it's called the CK Ink Broad brush. And this is the spacing parameters and everything for it. So yeah, it's just a brush. Everything in here that you're seeing is vector. And then we got some shading, gradients, different things like that on the character. And that's all native within Moho. So no images. Actually, I probably might be able to see your chat now on here. Ah, cool. It's working now. Okay, so taught you layer binding to separate rigs yesterday. I've wondered for a while about how to do this. Oh yeah, sweet. Dude, I was like, that was kind of my first time doing that too. So that was kind of like me just figuring it out again on the live stream. And I'm glad it worked out for both of us. Cool, I use that brush all the time. Nice. Yep, that is the brush. Okay, so what I'll do from here then is just continue blocking this out. So I had this character say, you got it.
You got it.
Okay.
Think of it.
And then as he says, think of it, I'm gonna have that. I think what I want to do, let's see, which one? I think it was wing 1. Yeah, it was wing 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that action that's already created, and this is what's so cool about Moho. So if you're watching and you're from Animate, think of this like symbols. So I'm going to take that animation timeline that I've already created, and I'm going to insert the copy into Moho. And one thing that I'd probably want to make sure that I don't have keyed is the root bone, which it wasn't. It should just be that wing that was copied, or that was a reference anyways. And then I'm going to just go ahead and just throw this onto step as well.
Got it. Think of it as a large.
Okay, so his wing's gonna. Oh, it's already open. So I think I might have deleted a keyframe by accident. So what this should be is it should be closed, and maybe I have to put these on an interpolation so this works a little bit better. Nope, that's not right. Let's see. So I have the animation right here, and it's closed, and then his arm should be opening like right here, I think.
It as a large.
Okay. Let's flip these back over to smooth and see what's going on. Okay, so I think I might have messed up my keyframes that I just copied over. So let me see what they're supposed to be doing here. Oh, that's the close. Wait, was I just putting... I think I was doing that opposite. I meant to do open, not close. So that's probably why that wasn't working. Man, I keep on losing track. Is it 1? No, that's both of them. Oh, I see. I only have close. Ah, shoot. Okay. So again, this is part of the process. What I have to do now is I have to go into an existing rig and pull it into my master. Yeah, so this is going to take a little bit of work. So this is kind of get more technical for those of you that are interested in the technical stuff. I'm going to go ahead and move this to the screen here and just grab the rig that I think I need. Let's see. Closes 1, opening 1. I think that was in episode 4. So these rigs have been just Frankenstein from episode to episode, shot to shot to shot. And in this one, I'm trying to get my master character rigs back together so that I don't have to Frankenstein and pull these from existing shots, because it's been a bit of a mess. So what I'm going to be looking for right now is, where does he open just one wing, and just grab from that that character file. So bear with me as I try to figure this out. I'll just keep this playing.
Tell me, the Connects All app can stop the constant...
That's funny. Something actually moved him off of... Oh, I think that's because that's where it's playing. Okay, so let's get that going.
Think of it as alarm triage. Only...
Oh, whoa. Hold the phone. I lost my my lip sync. Let's make sure I didn't do...
You got it.
what I think I just did. It's actually good that I caught this now. But I think I might have just lost my lip sync. How did that happen?
Think of it as a...
I don't know how I did that. Okay, so I got to do... Man, let's create a new save. Let's grab our file that we started out with and grab that lip sync and paste that back in. This is, hey, for those of you that are watching, this is why you version out your saves so that you don't override what you previously had, and in case you just made a mistake like I did, you don't lose everything. You could actually go back into your previous file and grab the keyframes that you need. So that's 165. And paste that there, 165.
You got it. Think of it as a...
Okay, so I'll just leave that there, and I'm looking in my other file here to make sure. I think this might be it. Let's bring this one in. Let's take a look. Okay, I think this might be what I'm looking for. Let's see if I just have it animated. I might just have that wing animated and not on an action. And all I'm trying to do is just build my library of actions to save time, but I have to compile them from past episodes that I've already animated them with. So that's the part that's going to take a little bit. You know what? I think I just animated that. I don't think I saved it as an action. So let me do this. So I'm going to save this, just this animation right here, as an action. So this is pretty cool. This is the other cool thing about Moho. I have a lot of Vitruvian bones, as you can see here. There's a ton of bones. I'm going to make sure that they're all visible, and my keyboard shortcut is Alt, comma. So all of them are visible, and now I'm going to invert my selection, so selecting all of those bones, and then I'm going to come here into my timeline, and I'm just going to remove all of these bones keyframes. Okay, so now what I should have is just the animation. Oh, I lost my Vitruvian bone keyframe. I'm just going to undo that really quick. Let's see. Oh, is it part of the wing close open? I think, okay, so I have a few things going on here. Oh, dang it, it is. Okay. So that's the tricky thing, is I built this character. So here is the master file, or the master rig. I have this character built with an opening and closing of the wing, which is looking extremely janky for some reason. That should not be doing that. Oh no. Okay, so I'll have to kind of see what's going on there as well. So we're in the initial stages of this character animation and rig and you know, preparation altogether. So we're going to see a lot of messy things here. So this is what the action should be doing, right? Now, if your action isn't reflecting the same thing from your actions to your timeline, that's usually where the fun troubleshooting part happens. So it could be because there's already a key that shouldn't be there, which there is on my master file. I don't need all these keys, so I'm just going to delete them from this group here. Go ahead and save it. So that key, yeah, those keys, somewhere in there was just a random key that was overriding my action or just offsetting it. So that's what that action should be doing. Now, what I'm trying to do, and this is what's taking so long right now, is I'm trying to find where my action was of him opening his wing, because I had a single wing opening and closing. So that's closed, right? So I want to have one where it opens, but I don't, and that's what I'm looking for right now. That's what this whole part is right now. Okay, so I thought that was it, but it's not. Let me look. I'm not going to spend too much more time on this. I might just have to reanimate it myself. But let me see if I can find it in one more file. So here's Miles. And wing close, Miles wing close. Darn it, I don't think this is it either. Okay, no worries. So we're just going to animate it from scratch. Crap. All right. Let's close that. And we're back to our file here. Okay. All right, let's see if there's any questions. Let's see. Ah, cool. Thanks, Sam. I really appreciate that. Version saves. Yeah. Yep. We all learned our hard lessons there, huh, Sam? I don't know if you did, but when I started out, I didn't know to save in versions. So I've lost I don't know how much work over the years. Lil Alien. I've used demo. I'm going to buy debut, not pro, because I'm not going professional. But I did the official Moho tutorial and couldn't do half the things because of the pro version. Yeah, so Little Alien, I would say, even if you're not going professional, so to speak, highly recommend that you still get pro, just because what you're getting with debut is just a limited tool set, features and everything. It's a fraction of what you're going to get in pro. So even though you're not going professional, when I first started out, this was years ago. This was back when Moho was called Anime Studio. I got Anime Studio Pro, and I was just a hobbyist at the time. So totally recommend getting the pro version, even if you're not going professional with it. Animated fog. Yeah, that's exactly right. It's always when it's live, right? Renoka, next stage is using version control like Git. Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how to do any of that stuff. You're talking about like GitHub? Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Started in debut back in the day. Sweet. It's a lot though, and I'm not sure if I'm going to quit or no. Yeah, don't quit. Especially if you're going into animation for the right reasons, which is just the passion, the joy of animating. I mean, for me, like I was inspired by Toy Story when I was a kid. And so ever since I saw Toy Story, I was like, man, I want to learn how to animate. And you know, that time finally came. Well, what's funny though, I'll keep working as I go. What's funny though, is when I first started animating, I tried frame by frame. And, you know, I did it kind of more the traditional method. So flip books and things like that. And I always loved drawing when I was a kid. But I was really, you know, not liking the process of drawing frame by frame, of drawing over and over and over again. And so that was kind of a painful process for me to learn. Was I don't know if I can actually animate because I don't like to draw over and over and over again. Granted, this was when I was probably like 13, 14. So my maturity level, my ability to be patient wasn't quite there yet. Let me just name this really quick as I'm trying to type here. So when I started animating, you know, it was a bit of a rough process because I love to draw, but I didn't like drawing over and over and over again. So fast forward to a little bit past high school, my dad purchased Anime Studio, I think it was Anime Studio 7 for me at the time. And I can't remember if it was on my birthday. For some reason, I can't recall exactly when it was, but he purchased this software for me, and it was Anime Studio, and I did not like anime at the time. There's still some anime that I'm not a fan of, but I've come to appreciate the art in itself. But because I saw the title and it said Anime Studio, I was like, oh man, I don't like anime. Dad, you know I can't use this. You know, just stupid schooler response there. But anyway, so I did end up using it, and I was like, oh wait, hold up a second. This is not what I thought it was. And it's not frame by frame. Like, this isn't anime and this isn't frame by frame. This is something completely unique. And at the time, there wasn't any, like, there was hardly any tutorials at the time. Chad Troft-Rubin, he's been the OG. He created the tutorials even back then. But outside of his tutorials, there really wasn't any other resources. And so I was kind of just, I didn't know what to do as far as how I was going to learn how to use the software. So I ended up not using it. It was just too overwhelming for me. And, just kind of high schooler brain. I was like, I'm not going to be able to do this. So fast forward from that time period, this is now Anime Studio 9.5. They released Smart Bones. And I don't know what it was about Smart Bones, but I was like, holy cow, that looks amazing. I'm purchasing that. So I saved up, purchased it for $400, $350. I don't remember how much it was at the time. And it was like, dude, this is freaking awesome. And it was awesome. I've been using it ever since. I was living with my roommates at the time, and I'm gonna kind of switch gears really quick here. I gotta hide this bone. This is getting really confusing. This is why I didn't want to animate this freaking wing. These wings are such a pain in the butt. I thought I had all my animations created. But anyway, living with some roommates of mine. This is, college. And they're really into South Park. And so I was like, all right, if I can create a South Park animation, this was on summer break from college, then, I'm going to pursue this animation hobby. And so I had the software, and I sat in my room, middle of a hot Arizona summer where the air conditioning was absolutely crap. And I stuck it out and I created a South Park animation. And they were convinced that it was South Park. So I was like, okay, sweet, I did it. And then after that, I started, taking my characters and drawings and stuff, and I started animating those. And then I posted that into the Lost Marble forum, asking for help because I needed some help because I didn't know what I was doing, or I didn't feel like I knew what I was doing. And at the time I was doing, I believe, lip sync. I was trying to figure out how to do lip sync with SmartBones. And apparently not a lot of people had done that at the time. And so when I posted my video asking, how do I do this? Like, how do I make this easier? I then had people just saying, hey, how are you doing that? Can you make a video? And that's how my YouTube channel was born, essentially, was just because people were asking how I was doing something. And I was like, oh, sweet. Yeah, let me upload it to YouTube. And then it just kind of went from there. Just randomly, I started getting subscribers. I didn't even know what that was at the time. My dad had created my account for me while I was on a 2-year mission for the Mormon church. I was in Nicaragua, served in Managua, Nicaragua, Spanish speaking. People there are freaking awesome. I love Nicaragua. But anyway, yeah. So long story short, that's how I ended up in animation. So don't give up. That's kind of like what that boils down to. Okay, so this is a terrible opening wing, but it'll work for now. I just need kind of the idea there. Oh my gosh. I wish I had my other animation. I didn't want to make a wing animation on stream because these are always a little bit more technical than they need to be. So right now, I will show you this, talk about this. So I've been talking with a lot of Animate users. They're looking for, symbols. And for anybody else, coming from like After Effects or whatever, what I'm doing is like a pre-comp or a symbol, whoever speaks that language. So this is an animation timeline within an animation timeline, which is really cool. But this wing animation is looking not super great. Just gonna offset the timing a little bit more. Okay, I'm just gonna work with that for now. I know that this isn't the best wing animation. Open wing. Man, I can't. Miles wing open one. How? I don't even know why I labeled some of these the way I did. They're so not clear to me. Anyway, so let's go ahead and let's hit home. I'm going to go back through. I was kind of talking for a little bit there. Also really liked your new rigging tutorial. Helped a lot. Sweet. Glad it helped. Using reference files seems pretty buggy at the moment. I hope they managed to improve it. I'm wondering if it's worth all the extra troubleshooting. It's not too bad, Renoka. Yeah, I agree. There are some things that can get a little bit of a quality of life update, but I use it all the time, to be honest. I find them very, very handy. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and again, so this is where I accidentally messed up. I don't know how I messed up, but the bones that I want to shy, so I don't want to keyframe these. They have the red keyframe. I'm going to go ahead and hide them. And these should hide them from my, whoops, let's try that again. Hide them from my channel so I can bring them in. So right now they're hidden, right? And I can use my keyboard shortcut, Control H, to bring them back, and those will bring my keyframes back. I don't know if I explained that very well before, but that's why I do that. And right now, actually, everything's set to shy bone. Select all my Vitruvian bones, uncheck them, because I don't want them all to shy. I think I accidentally did that. And then I'm just going to shy these ones. So there we go. So now I can hide them, unhide them, hide them, unhide them. And they pop there up on my timeline. Okay, cool. All right, now that I've got that all figured out, let's now get back into animation here. That should not have taken as long as it did. Let's go step.
Got it. Think of it as alarm triage. You got it. Think of it as a...
Okay, so now this is where I was going to use that action, and let's hope that I have something usable here. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. So I'm going to copy those keyframes that I just created for that pose into my timeline here. And what it does, I don't know if this is necessarily a bug. Let me get a drink real quick. Or if this is by design, I don't know, but it copies in the 0 frame keys. So frame 0 from that action, these right here. These are useless. So that doesn't actually help with anything. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this again.
Got it. Think of it as alarm triage.
Oh, that wing
Think of it as
and opening is so bad.
Think of it as alarm triage.
Okay. Dang it. All right, I got to fix that action. That action's not working for me.
Got it. Think of it as...
One thing that I will show too that's really cool with actions is you can come down here. For some reason, there's like a visual bug where the list of my actions like gets kind of cut off at the very bottom one. But this is open wing, and this is my open wing action. I keep on clicking on it. I don't mean to do that. If I right click it and I go to insert reference, it's going to insert a reference of this action where it is at this point. And again, for some reason, it puts in the frame 0 keys. I don't know why, but I'm going to go ahead and delete that. And it creates this reference, and I can move this reference around. So I have my reference for the Vitruvian bone. I have my reference. So this is just the reference of the animation itself. So this is cool because you could just, like I said, you can move this around. Oh, wow. I didn't even know you can offset some of these. That's kind of dangerous. But yeah, you can
Think of it as...
have your animation right there, right?
Think of it as...
Now, my animation looks pretty bad, and I need to update it. And let's say I put that reference in 20 times across my timeline. Well, I can just update the reference here, and it'll update across that timeline. So let's do that really quick. Okay, let's just fix... So I'm going to turn on the silhouette for the character, and I'm just going to work with the silhouette so I can see this without all the other stuff. Okay, so I just want to get a nice pose for his wing. So let me just kind of pose his wing nicer. So I'm thinking just having it a little bit more stretched out. Okay. And the action timeline, the one thing that I will say, actually, you know what? Let me test something really quick. Is it actually, it doesn't start at frame, it doesn't start where you have your animation starting. So right now I have my animation starting on like frame 150. But if I let's see, control left click, there we go. That's how I can get it to loop at that particular spot. So it doesn't change my animation start, because if you try to play your animation start when your animation starts like way past, 1, then it won't work. So you could set an animation playback point with control left click, and that'll create that. Okay, let's see. I'm just gonna check really quick to see if you guys have any questions. Why does it keep not? Lil Alien. At the moment, I'm going to do debut since I do basic characters, not crazy backgrounds. Depends on how much I'll like it. See if it's worth pro because it's a big investment. Yeah, for sure. Totally cool. All right, I think that animation looks a little bit better. I'm just gonna give it a little bit more of a better in between here. And notice that I'm creating step keyframes because I have my interpolation set to step. So I'll have to adjust that as well. And I'm just going to actually just change all my default. In my actions, in my smartphone actions, I like to use linear. In my animation actions, I actually like to use smooth. So my keyboard shortcut for that is Control 2. There we go. So that looks a little bit better. Now let's take off the silhouette and let's just see if that still looks nice. Good enough. Okay, cool. So let's hop back into the main line. And now, like I said, because this is a reference, this will now be updated here. Okay, we got some weird movement, which tells me let's take a look here. Something tells me that my keyframes didn't all translate to smooth. Because it is smooth here. And then on my timeline playback, it was like step.
Think of it as...
It's still playing like step. Actually, you know what? It's on twos. And that's something I didn't consider. This is on ones. But I already have the habit to animate my keys on twos. So let me just change this to twos. Oh, it was on twos. What the heck? Wow, that looks a lot smoother here. Okay. I'm going to take a look at my my reference layer again. Yeah, or not the reference layer, the reference animation. I'm just going to delete that out and I'm just going to put it back in again. This shouldn't be the case every time, but just to make sure.
Think of it as alarm triage.
I don't know if I like that. Okay. Let's just keep going with it. So we got...
You got it. Got it. Think of it as alarm triage.
Yeah. The one thing that would be really cool... Oh, dude, I wonder if it's even a thing. Because I haven't even tested it. Is if you could adjust the timing on your reference. That would be so cool. Let me see if I can. Because it almost looks like a marker. And markers you could move forward and backward. I don't think I can, though. I'm holding down Alt right now, and I'm trying to see if I could adjust the timing. Dang. That'd be so cool, but I could see why it wouldn't be possible.
Think of it as alarm triage.
Okay. So something that is interesting is it did move something. What is this that it's moving? I'm looking right here on my time ruler. There's something moving with it, and it looks like it's actually offsetting the animation. So I'm going to bring it back to there.
Think of it as alarm.
Yeah, because it's like it changed the when the animation plays back. Which is interesting. I'm just kind of technical troubleshooting right now. I love doing that. Breaking things. Okay, so I'm just going to insert reference again. Paste it. Okay, so something I am noticing too. I got in my action, I have a really random step keyframe that's being created. That's not, go back into my action. That's not actually in my animation, which is kind of random. So I'm going to go back to my main line. Let's go back to where we are here. And insert reference. Yeah, there's a step keyframe right there. I have my step keyframes from frame 0. Don't need those.
Think of it as a
But what are you doing?
Think of it as Think of it as
Okay.
You got it. Think of it as alarm triage.
Okay, so the thing about this action, as far as the other action that I created, is it was based off of, you know, where his wing is open and where his wing is closed. So now I have another action in here that closes that same wing, I believe. Nope, that's the open one. Keep on clicking on the wrong one. Right? And so now his wing is going to close. But I don't know if that's in the same position. So this might not look very good if I try to close that same wing. But I'm going to try it. So this is open, wing close 1. Now here's another thing that'd be really nice. If I'm working my action timeline, that it doesn't bring me back to the same time indicator when I go out of my action timeline. Because I'm working way back here. And anytime I go into my action, it takes me back to frame. I need to make a note of this. Just make some quality of life notes here as I'm talking about them. I'm not a developer, by the way. I just give Moho feedback as I find it. Okay, cool. All right. Let's see here. Sorry. All right, yeah, thanks, little alien. Happy Ramadan. What's up, Remy? Use and insert actions. I hope I get it when I rewatch this tutorial later. Yeah, hopefully it helps. Right now I'm just kind of troubleshooting some stuff, so it's a little messy. Adjusting the timing would be amazing. Oh yeah, for sure. I'm trying to think like how they would do that. Because in After Effects, is that something you can do? Can you take a pre-comp and retime it? Because right now I animated it on 2s, so I could see where that would kind of be an issue. If you were trying to retime, you'd actually obviously have to make it exact so that you keep your frames on 2s, but that would be really cool. Anastasia, what's up? Yep, I got dogs. Okay. Cool. So let's see here. I'm going to now, what is this keyframe? Okay, that's nothing. I'm now going to close that wing. And I think there's going to be a little bit of an in-between to go from one position to the next.
Think of it as alarm triage.
Oh, okay. So what was that? So I'm trying to kind of troubleshoot this as I go.
Think of it as alarm.
That's working as it is. Now, when I go to this other reference and I try to insert it, and I remove my frame 0 keys here.
Think of it as alarm tree.
So what's happening here, I'm actually going to keep those frame 0 keys.
Think of it as alarm triage.
So this is where it gets a little in the weeds when it comes to using references. Again, if I had my actions that I had before, this would be a lot smoother. But as I'm trying to remake them,
Think of it as alarm.
the Vitruvian bone is something to also keep in mind as far as what I'm keying. So here I have, my Vitruvian bones that keys to here. Hey Gunner, let's not do that, bud. But if I keep this on smooth, then it's going to interpolate. Actually, I don't know if it's interpolating. Let's see what the other one's doing. It's closing. So it's the same, basically the same key, and then it's closing. So as far as a reference, as far as copying the animation, this would work as far as the keyframes. But as far as a reference, it doesn't look like this is going to work. So I'm just going to do it the old-fashioned way to just copy those keyframes over. I was trying to be cool, but I'm not. So we'll just use good old keyframes anyways.
Think of it as alarm triage. Only the urgent.
Okay, so before he says only the urgent, I'll have him close his wing again. So we'll insert the copy, and then we'll... So there's going to be a bit of it in between because these poses don't match.
Think of it as alarm triage. Only the
So I guess it looks like a moving hold. I don't know. There's enough movement going on that you can't really see it.
Think of it as
Tweening.
alarm triage. Only the urgent stuff gets...
Okay, so again, we're running into my lip sync is just completely disappearing.
Think of it as alarm triage. Only the urgent...
Which is scary. I don't know why it keeps doing this. I'm like literally losing my keyframes. Something else is going on here.
You got it. Think of it as alarm triage. Only the urgent stuff gets the stage.
I'm going to just check further down the timeline and see if my lip sync is still working. Oops. Okay, great. Let me set a start point here and end point here.
Connexall prioritizes critical alarms and suppresses the nuisance ones.
What in the world?
No.
Okay, so as you can see there, my lip sync is completely off, and I don't know why this is. What the crap?
You got it. Think of it as alarm triage. Only the urgent...
If I had to guess, I'm going to take a look at my actions that I'm copying in and make sure that they don't have my mouth keyframes in there. I think that could be overriding those. Let's see. What am I looking for? Wing. Oh, bloody. Closed one. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and turn all those bones back on. Holy moly. Okay, look at this freaking mess. This is not right. So I need to do some cleanup here. So what I actually want to do is just have just this wing, have the animation, and nothing else. So I'm going to invert my selection. I actually got to turn my Vitruvian bones back on as well. This rig, man. Oh, man. It's giving me so much trouble. Okay. I need that wing, and I also need this wing. And then I invert my selection, and let's delete all these freaking keys, man. All of these. And let's also delete clear animation from document after, or no, layer after current frame. Yes. All right, let's make sure I didn't lose anything. Okay, so that's why my... Oh, you know what? I'm doing this in the wrong one. I need to do this in my master. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, extra keyframes in the freaking actions. You can recomp or retime a pre-comp. Sweet. Okay. I thought you could. Time remapping. Yep. Yep. Okay, that makes sense. Hey, Molt Rush. What's up, man? Okay. So what I need to do, because I have all of these freaking keyframes overriding my animation, is I need to update my my master rig. This is breaking my animation, and I'm dying here. Okay, let's try this again. So I'm gonna go into the Miles rig, undo all my Vitruvian bones, and the bones that I want to animate are basically this one and this one. Okay, so I'm gonna select just these bones here, and all my other bones I gotta remove those keyframes for the wing open, or not that one. Wing open, wing close, wing close. Okay. Whoa, okay. Hold a second. It's not here. Those keyframes aren't there. No way. Sam, I think we just figured something out. If you're seeing that, and I'm seeing it, and this was actually a clean timeline. All right, I'm just going to remove these regardless. Oh, man. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and save that. Eugene, maybe you might be able to help in here. I'll see if I'll try to troubleshoot first to make sure I don't ask any stupid questions, but I think I might have found a bug with the reference import. Okay, so this does actually not exist here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into... Oh, man. I don't want to lose everything. I'm just going to go into that wing. Both of those wings. Let's delete that wing. And let's bring my other one back in. This is the kind of crappy stuff that you don't want to see on a live stream unless it's helping somebody also troubleshoot a similar issue. But this is just me showing my whole process. So I'm literally learning how to troubleshoot this as I go. All right. So I'm using, oh, can you see that? Yeah, you can, because I'm showing the whole screen. Sweet. Okay. So now what I'm going to be looking for is in my actions, if those freaking ghost keyframes are there, and they're not. What the heck? But we all saw that, right? They were there. Just realized I wasn't sharing my camera. But cool. I guess that fixed it. I wasn't expecting that to fix it right away. So that's good at least, I guess. All right. Cool. Well, that explains why I have such a freaking messy timeline going on with my other bones. So let's go ahead and let's enable that again. And okay, so I still have a reference. That's weird. I thought I deleted my references. Okay, so things are getting pretty messy. So let's hide all the bones that we want to save. Oh, wait, what? My reference layers were tied to my freaking mouth. Hit Control H, bring those back in. Oh my gosh. Why? Okay. And shy those. Okay, so here's the mess of everything right here. Dogs, chill out. Okay. So I'm just gonna, again, just real quick, delete these keyframes. I think this isn't, I don't think this is gonna affect everything else.
We just get the important ones?
Exactly. Connects all
It does. Okay, so these are all crap keyframes. I lost my keyframes again. And again, this is why we have version saves.
stage.
Oh man, this is brutal. Okay. That's all right though. I have my animation on another project. I've not had this issue really with reference, import by reference. It's actually worked pretty nicely for me. So this is kind of all new as I'm going through this. Put master in the background to remind you that you're in the master. I could be wrong. I had not watched the video, but didn't Danny make a Moho retiming video? Oh yeah. So Anastasia, we were doing it with like, if you're familiar with, well, you're familiar with Animate, I believe. I believe that was the software you're familiar with. So like symbols, like retiming symbols, so that timeline within a timeline. That's kind of what we were talking about there. But yeah, you could totally animate, retime your keys individually for sure. This is helpful to see you encounter problems and the thought process behind how you would solve them. Cool. Okay. At least there's some value there. I'm happy with that. I often find when copy pasting keyframes, I get random extra keyframes that don't reference anything. That's a good note. I'll keep in mind that as I haven't had this before. I've been able to use my actions pretty nicely before. It's just that random frame 0 keyframe. But yeah, I'll definitely keep an eye out for that. If you're seeing it, then that's probably a pretty common occurrence. Was inserting the actions offsetting the other keys? No, I had a bunch of just crappy keys in my action, and that's what was just ruining everything, unfortunately. I had the same thing when copying and pasting keyframes. For me, the best way to keep only the keyframes was coloring the color or bone, so when I copy and paste them, I could see it. Yeah. No, that's good technique, and that's what I do as well. I unfortunately just had a lot of bad keys that were just getting brought over. So let me go back to the first save again.
You got it.
That has my proper freaking lip sync. Man, I can't believe I'm doing this again. Okay. I'm going to go back to just copy these keyframes. Starts at 155. And paste 155. And this should have all my lip sync proper again.
You got it. Think of it as alarm triage. Only the urgent stuff gets center stage.
So instead of 1,000 beeps...
Exactly. Connexall prioritizes critical alarm.
Okay, so that is looking good. Let's just make sure the other ones...
No. A friend of mine is.
Okay, cool. All right, so... Man. All right, so that's back. I'm going to... Again, this is where, yep, I highlight my keys too, and I give them a different color. Just to make sure I don't override those keys. But it was my freaking actions that were actually overriding these keys. They had... Oop. Don't crash. There we go. They were overriding my... In my action. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. Okay, let's bring back all the bones. Make sure those are just hidden. Oh, they're all being hidden. Select all my bones. Shy. See, this is the next thing that Moho really, really needs. Bone groups. Like we have point groups we can create We can select a bunch of points. I can create my points here, and I can say, wing tip, and I can hit create, and I can go down here, and I can say feathers, and I can hit create, and I can grab from here. Whoops. My groups. It only did one. I did it wrong. Select group. I don't know. Lil feathers. We'll just give it a random name. Okay, so then I can go in here and I can select my different points, right? If it works. I think it maybe has to be on one layer. Wingtip. There, it's selecting that. That's probably why. Okay, it's not. I have to be on the layer, but right? So you could select your different points and you can group them and you can save them. And it makes it really easy. So it's like, okay, if I just want to move these feathers, then I can go in here with my magnet tool and move them. We need that for bone groups, man. Like, I don't see this requested enough because this is such a mess to work with when it comes to trying to organize all of your bone groups. And when I say bone groups, just your bone selection, hiding and unhiding them. I really like the shy bones. I hope to see this kind of implemented a little bit further in future versions, because it really helps to keep your timeline clean and organized, and you make sure you're not moving the wrong keys around.
Got it. Think of it as alarm triage.
Okay.
Think of it as alarm triage.
So I lost my okay, so here's another thing that I'm seeing. Is I'm seeing these kind of ghost keyframes. And I don't know if okay. This is brutal. All right, so I'm going to select keys to right and delete them. I don't think there's anything there that I need. I think it's thinking. There we go. And I'm just going to delete those keys. So I should still have my mouth.
You got it. Think of it as...
Because those bones are hidden. I didn't remove those keys. I'm just removing whatever the frick keeps popping up on my timeline.
You got it. Think of it as alarm triage.
Man. Okay. So let's just get back into it. Let's start animating. Here we go. Think of it as alarm triage. I'm going to first paste this copy. I'm going to make sure that there's no other keyframes. Cool. Okay, so there's one.
You got it. Think of it as alarm triage.
Okay, so alarm triage only, blah, blah, blah. And then we're going to come here to... I apologize. You guys can probably sense my frustration at this point. I think this is actually poor rig management on my side. I don't think this is necessarily Moho error. I think this is user error. So I'm kind of more frustrated with myself right now because this thing's a mess.
Think of it as alarm triage. Only the urgent...
Beautiful. That's all I want. That's all I wanted. Oh, man. Bone groups to be able to shy quicker, especially when working with more than one rig. Yeah. Yep. I did talk to Molt Rush about that. He did have some kind of cool... I haven't implemented all of his scripts, I'll be honest. It's a little overwhelming. He's got a lot of cool stuff. But as far as bone groups in particular, he did have a suggestion. I don't remember what it was, using one of his other scripts. It names bones, and then it could take the named bones, like auto name them. So it's really good for quickly naming all of your bones. And I think it was in beta, but if you sign up to his Discord, you'll definitely see it. And Multirush, if you're here, feel free to comment. I don't want to speak for you. Cool. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you guys hanging out. This, again, like I said, this is what makes it fun. It is stressful when I'm like trying to show something valuable or of value and nothing works. So it's hard to know when things are helpful or not.
Think of it as alarm triage, only the urgent stuff gets center stage.
So
Okay, cool. So that's pretty much done as far as his wing. That's all I wanted to do for his wing. Now let's go back to his kind of acting with his body.
You got it. Think of it as
Okay,
think of it as
so I do have this little pop here. And my keyframes are being deceiving because these are actually step, I believe, which is why it's popping. Wait, what?
think of it as
So something's popping actually. My whole rig is popping up.
alarm triage. Only the urgent. Think of it as
Is this from the freaking keys I just copied? What is happening? Okay, no, wait. Right here I have my step. Okay, I can see what's going on. Ah, interesting. So in this wing animation, for some reason, it actually keyed my open wing or my root bone. So let's delete that so that stops getting keyed. Oh, and here's the fun part. I need to make sure that I do this in the main action, not in the in the main master file, not in just my individual file. Shoot, what did I call it? Did I open? Wait a second. Oh no, did I not? Wing close open. Open wing 1. Whoa, did I just make it in its own? Oh shoot, okay. Man, I'm all over the place today. I didn't sleep very well last night. Had a pretty upset boy and the power went out and things were just kind of crazy over here with the weather. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and copy these keys to the master and make sure that it's in my master because I didn't do that right. Okay, so this is going to be open wing 1, I think is what I called it. Yeah, open wing 1. And then I'm going to go ahead and just paste those keys. Boop. Okay. And hit save. And so now that'll be locked into my... That's what I kept on doing wrong. That's why this thing turns into a Frankenstein, is because I don't put them back into my master by accident.
think of it as alarm.
And I am having the same pop-up happening on the...
Think of it as
Hold a second. This shouldn't be... Why is this moving? Everything's keyed. How? How does this keep happening? Do I have auto freeze keys on? What the frick, man? Okay, so open wing. I feel like I've done this like 5 times now. I just need to make sure that just these 2 bones. Oh, I can't see them at the same time. I have to undo my thing here. Okay, so I just want to make sure that both of these bones are the only thing that's being animated. I don't know where that came from. I might have hit Control F by accident. I think. I don't know. Okay, so now I go back to that layer.
Think of it as
Okay, still something else going on there.
think of it as alarm.
Oh well, of course there is, because I didn't reference it. I'm thinking like I'm referencing it, so I just need to remove that goofy little jump there. Oops, not on my wings, but on the... And again, so here's the thing. So as I'm working on this, I'll just say this, because again, I'm showing you the process, and the part that's kind of, that seems like a lot, is I'm narrating everything. So I understand that, you know, I'm doing it to kind of help explain the process for those that don't understand what I'm doing. That, and it'd be really boring to watch me try to troubleshoot something without explaining it. But this stuff goes a lot quicker and it's a lot easier to navigate through whenever there's issues like this cropping up. Like this, I can say, if I wasn't streaming this, I could probably solve this in 5 to 10 minutes. Whereas right now, this is taking literally like 30, 40 minutes. So I just kind of want to put that out there, that this is probably more user error type stuff that I'm running into right now. And just with the pressure of, live streaming and everything.
Think of it as
it might, seem like this is
Think of it as
a lot longer than it should be.
Think of it as alarm triage. Only the urgent.
Okay, so the one thing I'm noticing with his wing. Oh, and here's a cool shout out. So for anybody that knows what relative layers are, or relative, what's it called? No, not freeze. What is it? Relative keyframing. Anybody that knows what relative keyframing is, you can only do it with layers. Well, Eugene is freaking awesome, Multibrush, and he created a relative bone. So this is why I highly recommend to use scripts. And in this case, Eugene's, because his is the only one I've been using. But the MR Pose tool allows you to select your bones, turn on relative bone, and then fix that bone for all of those keys that you have highlighted. Right now, this isn't going to look too good, I don't think, because it's going to be moving everything. No, that's perfect. So it's actually going to be moving everything here.
Think of it as alarm.
And then as his arm goes down, I'm going to do the same thing. Instead of having to, keyframe all of the slight movements, you can do relative bone. So again, if you're familiar with relative keyframing, this will make sense. Otherwise, I probably didn't explain that very clearly. But this should now be fixed.
Think of it as alarm triage. Only the urgent.
So perfect. So I don't know if you guys, really know what I'm doing there, but it's moving everything down relative to that slight angle rotation I just did. So all the keyframes that I just highlighted for that bone, so there's a Vitruvian bone, so there's actually 2 bones. But this bone that I have highlighted, it moved all of those keyframes down relative to that slight angle that I just gave it. So the thing after that is you got to make sure to turn it off, or else you're just going to F everything up as far as your animation.
Got it. Think of it as
Okay. So I'm noticing too his pose right here. Let's go ahead and let's freeze that, and we'll just paste that back to here.
Got it. Think of it as alarm triage. Only the urgent stuff gets center stage.
Okay, cool. Now let's just go right into animation. Everything else is going to be a lot smoother, a lot faster for the rest of the blocking. So I'm not going to worry about anything with his wings anymore. I'm done with his freaking wings, and I'm just going to animate the rest of his body language.
Alarm triage.
Okay, so I'm just going to play this back a couple times. Let's see if you guys have any questions, and then I'll just kind of focus in on what I need to do here. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so Moltrush just answered the question for who had the bone group idea as far as if there was a script already created. So that is his workaround, I believe. I think I can use MR name as a base and create a panel with buttons where selections can be stored. Should it be possible to store both points and bones in a single button? Ooh. I don't know. I think just bones, honestly. As far as like what I would need it for. Because points does have the select points, and then you can group it with select points. So if that was a question as far as that request, that would be my answer. Save a new version and file in case you need to go back. Yeah, good point. I should probably save. Thanks for the reminder. A script to toggle the bones visibility would be great. I know through quick settings path, but a button like where silhouette is would be great. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, just to toggle the bones and not like everything else. Daisy. Yeah, that is a good idea. I don't really use that too much. I just have it set to my keyboard shortcut, Control Shift C, and that's pretty quick. But yeah, I could see where that could be helpful. Okay, cool. So we got 30 minutes left. All right, so we can animate a pretty good chunk of this, I know, now that we got everything kind of in place there.
Think of it as alarm triage.
And yeah, so I'm just going to move my microphone to the side and get to work here.
You got it. Think of it as alarm triage. Only the urgent stuff gets center stage.
So,
You got it. Think of it as alarm triage. Only the urgent stuff. You got it. Think of it as you got it. Think of it as
So my lip sync, I'm just noticing that right off the bat. Hopefully it's not breaking again, because I am done with this lip sync, man. Having to fix this. So I'm gonna bring in all my keyframes back, and something is breaking on the mouth. Okay, so we got some random keys in betweens. I can't think of why this keeps happening. I don't know why this keeps happening. This is very frustrating, to say the least. Okay, so this tongue action, oh wait, whoops, I'm not even selecting the right key. Okay. All right, now we're fine. All right, so I still have my tongue action. I just have these random step keys that don't need to be there. And going to the mouth. Okay. All right. That scared me for a second there. I thought, I don't even know why these have keys on them. These shouldn't be keyed at all. Man. Okay. Go ahead and play this back again.
You got it. Think of it as alarm triage. Only the
So think of it as.
You got it. Think of it as alarm triage.
All right. Oh, interesting. Okay, so I am noticing that there is still step keys on my. Okay, so there shouldn't be animation here, right? Yep. But I do have step keys on these keys here. Or at least it was shown a second ago. Let's see if it's still. So now what I'm doing is I'm just going back to my original animation, because maybe there was already just a mistake on the animation that I keep on pasting back in on accident.
You got it. Think of it as alarm triage. Only the
No, that looks decent. So I'm just gonna grab all those keys again for the last time, and hit copy. Gonna make sure I set that at the right spot. 165. All right, so 165. Select those. Where'd my bones go? There they are. Select those. To the right, delete, and paste.
You got it. Think of it as alarm triage.
Okay, and now I'm gonna hide those keys. Oops, hide. Okay, man, in all the streams, so this is like the 30th stream. I've never had this issue ever with keyframes. This is brutal.
You got it. Think of it as alarm triage. Only the urgent stuff gets center stage. You got it. Think of it as
Okay, so now I'm just gonna create my. I'm gonna actually hide the wings because I really don't want to see those keyframes anymore, and just shy those so they're not visible on my timeline, and I can just focus in on. What are these keys right here, though? What is happening? That is this key here, which bone is this one? My back wing. Interesting. Okay. So that's coming from my action. So let's just go ahead and hide that bone. I don't need to see that either. Okay, so then these keys are nothing. So I could just delete these. Make sure that I don't delete my... Okay, I'm just going to delete it really quick, and then I'm going to play it out and just make sure that I didn't delete necessary keys.
Got it. Think of it as alarm triage. Only the urgent...
I did, okay. So those keys I need to leave for my Vitruvian bone. Hit and undo here. Let's see if it catches up. There we go. So I'll just delete these keys and I'll leave my Vitruvian bone.
Got it. Think of it as alarm triage. Only the urgent...
Oh, it's kind of breaking through right there. Okay, I'll get that in my final pass. Any of the things that are kind of janky.
Got it. Think of it as alarm triage. Only the urgent... You got it. Think of it as alarm triage. Only the...
Okay, so when he goes urgent, I kind of want him to do... Let's see.
You got it.
All right, I'm just going to put the microphone to the side, and I'm not really going to talk through my process because I just need to get the work done at this point. Let's see here. Man, I miss Moho. All my latest client projects have been AE based. So damn slow to work with. Oh, dang. Are you doing character animation AE, Sam? Or is this motion graphics and stuff like that? I hope for your sake it's not character animation. That is brutal. Cool. All right, Eugene. That looks awesome, man. Or that sounds awesome. I look forward to it. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's just hit play and let's just animate this. Let's have fun.
You got it. Think of it as alarm triage. Only the urgent stuff gets... You got it. You got it. Think of it as alarm... You got it. Think of it as alarm triage. Think of it as alarm triage. Only the... You got it. Think of it as alarm triage. Only the urgent stuff. The urgent stuff. The urgent stuff get. You got it. Think of it as alarm triage. Only the urgent stuff gets center stage. Think of it as alarm triage. Only the urgent...
Okay, so that's a pretty good first block. When I'm looking at the wings, though, we got some goofy movement going on there. So let's go ahead and let's bring back all our bones. Okay, and that would be wise because let's go ahead and just put everything on step because that's all we're trying to do right now is we're just trying to block everything out. And oops, the mouth, we still want to have that hidden. So we'll just have the mouth, the only part that's hidden there. Everything else will be visible. Okay, so this mouth is hidden. Let's just throw everything back onto step, even the wings, just so we don't have the, whoops, try that again. What's my keyboard shortcut? I think it's Control-3 for step. There we go.
You got it. Think of it as alarm triage. You got it. Think of it as alarm triage. Only the urgent stuff gets center stage.
Okay, cool. So now we have our poses. For the wings, that'll make things a little tricky because, again, they have a ton of keys. So probably what I'll do in the future, as far as like the next set of animation that we do, is I'm going to have the wings kind of the last motion and just kind of block everything else out first, just because it's kind of a pain in the butt to keep going back through and hiding and unhiding the wings. But I'm going to go ahead and just hide them really quick. So again, they're not in my timeline. So now we're just dealing with the main body poses. And this is where things, start to get fun and quick.
You got it.
So this little pose right here where he says, you got it. Let's go ahead and we're going to throw all these onto smooth keyframes interpolation. So I'm going to hit Control-2.
You got it.
Okay, so he moves forward. He says, you got it. Now the spacing is a little slow, so let's tighten up a little bit.
You got it. You got it.
There's a little bit of popping on his wings. We'll look at that in our next pass. But what I like to do, and for anybody watching, this is kind of a cool tip that I like to do, is I like to favor, like ease into that last pose. Ease in, ease out. I don't know what the freaking difference is. Richard Williams taught me it's ease in. Everybody else says it's ease out. I also call it ease in. So in his last pose, he's easing into his pose. And then what I'm going to do from there is now that he's favoring that last pose, I'm going to bring that timing forward a little bit more. So it's going to be
You got it. You got
a little bit smoother. It's kind of hard to see because the wings are jumping and that makes things confusing. But then what I like to do is I like to use this pose. So he's going from here to here to just create some nice drag. So a little bit of overlap with this different pose here. So it looks like this.
You got it.
Okay.
You got
And then it's going to kind of slowly go back to that previous pose. So we'll just copy that over.
You got it.
Man, Moho's kind of doing these RAM preview things a lot lately. I think it's just because I got a longer timeline going.
You got it. You got it. You got it.
Okay, and if it's too quick, I like to just kind of slow things down on the head so the rest of the body could get there a little bit sooner, but maybe I can offset. Let's see. Offset these just slightly more.
You got it. Think of it. You got it. You got it.
Yeah, that wing is really tripping me up. Let's unhide that and let's just see what's going on. Okay, so we got step. Correct. Okay, that makes sense because I did change that to step. All right, let's just put that at smooth for now.
You got it. You got it. You got it. Think of it as alarm triage. Only the urgent stuff gets center stage. Gets center stage.
Okay. Man, this actions thing that I did just really did not work out. This has actually caused a lot more issues than I needed.
You got it. Think of it as alarm.
Okay, so that looks pretty good. As far as the movement already, it's pretty smooth going back.
Think of it as alarm triage. Only the urgent stuff.
And then it does like a RAM preview
Think of it
thing. I
as
don't know what that
alarm-
is. Does that do that for anybody else? Does Moho like play back at a normal time and then it just speeds through and then resets? It's almost like what After Effects does. And it's been happening quite a bit. I don't know if it's a performance thing. Could be something on my end. GPU caching is on. I don't know. Favoring last pose, ease in. Dude, like I said, Richard Williams, he taught me animation. I studied his book religiously and he called it ease out. So trying to get that wiring now out of my head, I'm screwed because yeah, I apparently learned it the wrong way. But I don't know. It's Richard Williams. How do you how do you get it the wrong way if he's the one teaching it? Flash reversed the naming for ease in and ease out, which annoyed all the old school animators and confused everyone. Yeah, it's so dumb. I wish there was like, because there's ease in, there's smooth in, there's cushion in, there's favoring's kind of, a different term, but same type of principle. Yeah, it does make that confusing.
You got it. Think of it as alarm triage. Only the urgent stuff.
All right. So let's just focus on the squash now because that is on smooth. So I'm just going to hop into my motion graph here and just kind of make this look a little bit nicer. So
Only the
we'll have him squash down first a little bit. Let's put that maybe right about here. Squash up. And then we'll favor, there's that word, favor. Can I not, there we go. Holding shift, it sometimes doesn't work, but holding shift, I can move. It's moving up and down. I don't like that. I'm holding shift and I'm trying to constrain it just to the right there, but that's not working very good there. Because if I reset, yep, see it didn't move. Shoot. Let's see. All right, let's try this again.
only the urgent. Only the gosh. Only the urgent. Only the
I just noticed that my squash and stretch is only. No, it's happening. Okay, it kind of needs to happen lower down, but that's all right. And let's go ahead and make sure that that's reset. Okay, so we're going to go into our antic on the squash. Let's go up. This might be going up a little bit fast, but let's see.
only the urgent stuff. Only the urgent. Gosh. Only the urgent stuff. Gosh. Only the urgent.
That's not, you can't really see it. There's so much movement.
Only the urgent stuff.
Okay, I'm going to throw his head back a little bit. So on that pose where it says urgent,
The urgent. The
I'm going to throw him back just a little bit. Just kind of. See what that looks like. Let's make sure I grab those bones I just touched. Okay. It might be a little bit too much, but we'll work with it.
only the urgent. Only the urgent. The urgent.
Okay. Again, we'll favor those last keys.
The urgent.
And we'll hold.
The urgent.
Move that back to that original position there. Oops, that's a new key right there. So let's do this pose here. Nope, not that one. This one. There we go.
Stuff. Only the urgent stuff. Urgent.
Okay, and then we'll paste that there.
Urgent.
See, that's the thing. Once you get past like your blocking phase and you just start animating, it goes so quick. But when you don't have ghost keyframes cropping up on every freaking thing you do, then that also goes quick.
The urgent. The urgent.
Okay, let's favor that last pose a little bit more.
The urgent stuff.
Okay, that's not... I'm going to go ahead and freeze this pose because that's not working for some reason.
Stuff. Urgent stuff.
Okay, got some weird motion going on his wings. I think we can take those in-betweens out.
And stuff.
Okay, I don't know what they are actually because that didn't do anything. Oh, snap. His freaking mouth is showing. Oh, no. No.
Only the urgent stuff gets center stage.
Okay. Whew. I didn't mess with my keys, but I do need to hide those because I do not want to screw that up. Okay, that's what that was. That was my lip sync. Good.
Only the urgent stuff gets
Okay, so I have this weird motion happening.
stuff.
Okay, so this is something I've been seeing quite frequently. I don't know if anybody else has, but Control F, freeze pose. It's not keying all of my keyframes, which makes for a in-between mess.
Only the urgent
So here I am hitting Control F,
stuff.
Control F, and I'm gonna paste that same pose there. There it goes. Now it pasted. Okay.
Only the urgent stuff gets center stage. Gets
Okay. Let's go ahead and change this to smooth. Do the same thing. We're gonna favor that last pose.
stuff. Gets center. Stuff gets.
Actually, that was a little too. So what I'm looking for is the ease. There's so much movement on this. The two actions going on. He's balancing on her and he's moving around. And it's kind of hard to see at some points. So something that's really cool about Moho 2 is you could actually take your main rig, so her movement
Gets center stage.
of going back and forth like that. I'm actually making this very difficult for myself right now because I forgot that I should just mute everything. Well, actually, you know what? Her arm, I don't want to mute that just because... I do want to mute it just in the case... Here, you know what? Again, just kind of thinking out loud here, but... Just going to move him like that.
You got it. Think of it as alarm triage.
Ah, see? Now we can see that moving hold. Wink, wink, moving hold.
Think of it as alarm triage.
Shoot. Okay. You know what I'm going to do, though? I'm going to grab... Oh, no, I'm not going to mess with the action right now. I was just going to grab the action that the wing goes down, paste that into the wing going up so it has the same action, so there's no in-betweens. But I really don't want to mess with that.
Think of it as alarm triage. Only the urgent stuff gets center stage.
Okay, so that looks pretty close to good there. Just fix his wing a little bit. It's getting a little wonky.
Gets center stage. Urgent stuff gets center stage. Urgent stuff gets center stage.
Okay, and now we're just going to go back and throw in some eye blinks, and we could pretty much call it good, I think. So I have, I don't know, there's a few things I could do, actually. We got a head turn, so we can work with our head turn there. We got our eye blink. So let's first just create a quick eye blink. I'm just going to delete all the keys that I don't need. Thanks, dogs. You're baking like an earthquake right now. Shaking the whole table, Gunner. All right, so I'm going to just create a quick blink that I could copy my keyframes over.
You got.
Okay, just kind of offset that here and just see where it makes sense to throw in some blinks.
You got it. Think of it as alarm triage. Only alarm. You got it. Think of it as alarm triage. Think of it as alarm triage. Only the
Oh man, my dogs are farting and they're killing me. There's a lot of snow outside, so they don't like to be outside too long. But frick, man. They're killing me right now. Ah, dogs. I already have a freaking massive headache.
urgent stuff. The urgent. Only the urgent.
I do that urgent part where he comes up.
Urgent.
So let's see. We got a swash and stretch.
Only the urgent. Only the urgent.
I kind of want him to hold that pose a little bit longer. I don't want it to come up so soon. So I'm just going to kind of delay that just a little bit more.
Only the urgent stuff. Only the urgent stuff.
Do I want to move him with stuff?
Stuff.
It might be too close to that other pose, but let's check it.
Only the urgent stuff gets center stage.
Yeah, that looks better.
Only the urgent.
And then as he's going back on urgent, let's do just a slight overlap on the head. Just drag that back a little bit. Dogs. Ah, you're killing me. Ah, my head.
Only the urgent. Only the.
Okay, I thought that would be the case. Pretty sure there was other keys in there. Okay, so there's the overlap right there.
Only the urgent.
Whoops, I lost my
The urgent.
head fling back. There we go.
Only the urgent stuff gets center stage.
All right. Yes, I'm on PC because of playback issues. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. I don't know. I guess nobody else has that. It could be my own system, but yeah, I've been having that a lot on these projects. Could be something on my end. Yeah.
Only the urgent stuff gets center stage. You got it. Think of it as alarm triage. Only the urgent stuff gets center stage. You got it.
Okay, I think that looks pretty good for, this would technically be considered like my first pass. So we moved past blocking. We're in our first pass here. And let's go ahead and let's just bring back the rest of the character. And let's go ahead and hit play.
Think of it as alarm triage. You got it. Think of it as alarm triage. Only the urgent stuff gets center stage. You got it. Think of it as alarm triage. Only the urgent stuff gets center stage.
He's so close to her face. Oh, man. You know what's so cool about Moho, though? Even with all of the errors that we've made, not errors, all the technical issues that we ran into today, this is still faster than frame by frame. I was still able to get this done faster than frame by frame. Because in frame by frame, you know, you're going to rough everything out. Lip syncing with frames is pretty difficult. I've attempted it. I can't say that I'm good at it. And then, you know, you tie everything down and then you start doing your color and your line work, and then you do your polish pass, and you make it all look good. You go through all your passes. But with this rig, with this whole thing that I just did with this character,
Think of it as alarm triage. You got it.
I was able to animate. How many seconds is this? 7 to 13. What is that? 6? Oh, there's my dog's alarm. 6 seconds. Not great. I can usually average out about 10 to 15 seconds of animation per hour, all things considering, all the posing and all that stuff, all the passes. Sorry, that's not accurate. It's more like 7. It depends. It depends on how complex the animation is, but 7 to 15 is what I could do per hour. So this is kind of on par as far as what I could do for like the last hour, even with all the technical work. But anyway, my dog's alarm just went off. That means it's lunchtime for them. Thank you, Sam, Loki, Robert, Animated Fog, Daisy, Moltrush, Renoka. Just running through the names here. Polanco. Everybody that was here. Scribbly G, my homie. Yeah, thank you everybody for watching. I hope this was helpful. Tomorrow I'll be streaming again around the same time. I start at 10 a.m. Mountain Daylight time. And then, yeah, I hope to